Hello, chat. All right, we come back here at the end of the day. Want to give you a little update here. Had a very nice sell-off that break of the VWAP, and got the battery issue fixed on the camera there. Basically, I don't know, maybe I bumped it, but I got the camera where the battery normally goes on this Canon M50. It has what looks like a battery, but it has a wire that comes off of it, plugs into USB. And I was checking everything, and the little connector must not have always been in there, or maybe I bumped it when I was cleaning the lens or something. Worked itself out, but it looked like it was plugged up from here. So I just had to check everything. I got it fixed. But I was going to recap the day. This is a sell-off here. The break of the VWAP was beautiful, you all. And so we came into this channel. So I was just waiting to see if we'd break that 25,020. You remember earlier today, if you go back and look at those videos, I had set my bottom range at 25,020 as that we had to hold this range up. And so I just set an alert for my cell phone through TradingView to when we were getting close to it. So anyway, I came back in here, right around in here, and I wound up taking a few really good trades here. I'll go ahead and show you a pretty good day turned around. A lot of trading. It was a grind today, I got to tell you, but the signals were right if I'd have paid attention to them. But over in a Tradevate, 40,660 on the day, total profit trades of 30. Gross profit only 15,000. We had some losses in there today, 16 losers. And what's more concerning to me is my losers is more than my winners. If you look at my other days, generally speaking, I like for the losers to be less than half. But I took some pretty big losses on some ups. I knew the market's bias was short today. Maybe I tried too many times. But if you go back and look at the videos, those 15-minute ORB plays on the breakout got me pretty good bit. And I mean, I got stopped out real fast on them, but it stopped me out nonetheless. Looking to take another trade here, actually. We just had a kind of pull back on the 30 seconds. Maybe you can see a trade. I don't want to give any money back, but boy, I'm so close to hitting that $10,000 after commission mark. I really wanted to just trade and not have my commissions be more than my winnings today. But I am up to 63% ratio. And that's kind of off. If you look at that, don't forget that I didn't actually have 16 losing trades, okay? What I did was on a couple of the losers, I DCA'd thinking it was going to come my way because it was staying within that 30-second previous high or low. And I was overriding AI. This is AI trading futures. And I did override her, Grok, a couple of times there, maybe more times than I want to admit. The human error aspect crept in there. But anyway, still happy with the day. Obviously, all that matters is what you're going to put in the bank, right? Take home, so to speak. And so 88, 82 on the day. That puts us at that $50,000 mark on the week. You can add up all these little summaries I did this first 5 days of sharing my channel. And anyway, yeah, let's see. We're due for a bounce, but that, maybe back up to 25,000. But that 25,000 is going to be a tough number to get back through. Going to be a tough number to get back through. So I'm just seeing this as being a little bit of profit taking for the shorts, and I'm looking to get back in on the short again if we get a. She's telling me that this first time all week she's told me to go ahead and do 50 contracts. And so I'm a little hesitant, but I did make a couple of good trades there, just on really fast scalps in and out. My average winning trade today has been 2 minutes and 1 second. My average losing trade has only been 18 seconds. It goes against you. I get right out. If you watch any of the philosophers of trading, it's how you manage your losses in those situations that really makes you a profitable trader. And I cannot concur more than that. We're looking at those 1 hour charts earlier on TSLL. It's down in the $18 range now, down 7% on TSLL. You see that over to the right. So glad we didn't buy it in when it broke through 20. That's when those 1 hour charts, I can't give you advice. I'm not telling you what to do, but this is for entertainment. But when you're watching those 1 hour charts, they don't lie. We had a breakdown of the 1 hour, and once it breaks down, you start looking to the left for support places. Once you break those, you got this big cascade area I told you in the 1 hour. So I'm looking for TSLL to pull back down in this area. That's what I'm looking for. And so around that $16 mark, if you guys are buying anything on Tesla, the Tesla play. But let's see if we get a breakdown up here. We just basically had a very big aggressive candle here. This is just 30 seconds, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? If you switch it to 5 minutes, it doesn't look that ugly. Just looks like we're having just a normal little twin tower action, which you get that when you have a big down one to fill up that gaps, right? So that's a 5 minute, but I'm looking for a continuation play here off of this 5 or 10 EMA. Won't bother me, it pulls back to the 10 or even the 20, but somewhere in here, if we're going to stay on a downtrend, unless some buyers really step in, it's Friday. It's almost 2 o'clock, East Coast time. So the buyers might make a run to close out the books, settle the books. But generally speaking, got the government shut down. Everybody's going to be hitting the beach, going to Hamptons. And usually, if you look back historically, it sells off. Now, this doesn't mean it's not going to whip around, but it does sell off on these Fridays with these kind of things. The VIX is up 1.26%, so we're in some volatility area here. Not as bad as we've seen, though. 16 ain't bad. Let's just see if we get some momentum. On the 30-second chart, we did cross over EMAs to the long side, and let's see if we can get a breakdown with momentum. If we do, we're going to take this. We're going to take a trade here. Try not to give any back, but sure would like to see $10,000 on the day. I'm going to go ahead and take it. A little premature. All right, right there and out. All right, I did get that 30. I did get a little bit of money there. I'm going to do it again here. If we get another impulse down. Here comes an impulse down. We're going to try this one more time here. All right, there was 22.50. Okay, we're not going to trade anymore, chat. Thank you for joining with me here for this little short video. I got us above $10,000, just basically on volume imbalance right here, the volume pressure. And, it works. We topped out on the linear channel, regressive channel, correct? And then we broke through all EMAs right in here. It took 2 little trades. I'll put them up and show them to you. We broke through all of the, oh no, how did I do that? Hit the wrong button, everybody. Meant to do that. I have to put all my deals back on there now. Let me just go Grok scalp and load it. Oh, well, once you take it out, you take it out. That's all right. I'll show you these, and then we'll load them back up to finish out the video. There's my trades I started doing on this down run, and she had actually told me 50, that's full lots. That's the most I can do. But I didn't feel comfortable with it, so I did some shorting on all these downs. All this was shorts, no longs. I just waited through this little pop back up, and I knew it's probably going to get up there closer. I was hoping to get up by 25,000, but got up in this range right here, and we got that imbalance. The imbalance will equal these down candles. You saw it in real time. Even before these candles form, I knew that the volume was going that way. So I was able to take full lot of 50. I'm going to change that back to 5 in case I won't forget for Monday's trading or weekend trading. So let's add our indicators back on there. The ones we're using is the histogram, the linear, the moving average ribbon, the 15-minute. Then we're using relative strength, reverse and setup for volume. That's a different indicator I'm working on, session, and volume weighted price. There's a VWAP, right? And so then we're going to take the RSI and drag it to the middle there. And there you go. We're set back up on our chart. Everything's in there because I saved or overwrote the default to all of the settings that AI gave us. And so that's all you need to trade. Let's go ahead and turn that off. What I did was I hit remove 6 indicators. They should have that where they ask you, really, do you want to do that? But let's turn off all those trades that we made. Let's get it back over here like this. I'm glad I got out. See, that was, take profit, see profit, take profit. These are just micro scalping on a 30-second chart. And you're just jumping on the trolley, right? While you got a volume pressure imbalance. And I like to use it. I'm going to start probably on Fridays because I got caught on some of those 2 million when it gets me really quick. So I'm going to probably make my Friday rules, and I'll change it in the guide. I'll make my Friday rules on your book map. You got to have 3 million imbalance on your volume pressure. Okay, algorithm volume pressure, and I got it set to absolute and percentage. So I'm just hitting on all cylinders here. I'll take another one just on the 5 little contracts there. That's that requires $500 a contract. So when you do 50, you have 25,000 in there plus whatever you think your drawdown, your potential loss will be for that day. Generally speaking, around 50,000. If you're going to do 50 lots, you double that. So if it takes 25 to buy 50, then you want to have double that in there is what they tell me. I'm not giving you advice. I'm saying what I do. We got all of our indicators back up. We lost the VWAP earlier. Beautiful play for you people who just do the VWAP play. If you look at these little swings, the break of the VWAP here would have paid you some points. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what that was. That's not a lot, but it's, it's 22 points. You had a 22-point run on the break of the VWAP there. Let's see, break of the VWAP right here. Some people just trade this. You got 32 points right there. Not bad, right? But look here. This is the beauty. So it broke VWAP and it just meandered, but then you could tell it becomes support. Excuse me, resistance. I'm sorry. It become resistance. And you could have just been in there and waited and got a couple of these candles bottoms that kind of would set up what your range is. And then that was also happened to be the 15-minute opening range breakdown too. So right there is your breakdown. I would have said you kind of got in right there and you would have been invalidated to about right in there. 50 points, easy 50 points right in there for you VWAP traders. I hope some of y'all caught that. That's great. For me, I would have, if I was here and I had everything ready, I would have just scalped my 5 or 10 points right in there and I'd have watched it go on down. Unfortunately, that's how I trade, but that's not how you have to trade. You can pull money out of the market any way you want to. Let's go ahead and do the recap. Go ahead and show you those couple of trades kind of rounded out today. And so we're going to call it a day and close it out on this video. There you go. Not pretty. Highest amount of wins that I had, but also the highest amount of losses this any one day this first week filming. And so still put out 10,556 after commissions. And we will take it. And so anyway, like and subscribe, send your friends, comment down below, all the good stuff. Glad to help any way I can. Can't give advice. I'm not a professional, but I can show you what I do. Download my guide. It's free. Okay. Everybody have a good weekend.